This is an install video and I guess initial review of just how easily these crossbars go on. I have a 2023 Armada and I want to put a cargo box on it, so I got these crossbars. They're supposed to kind of give an OEM look, and they, once you put them on, they're just kind of meant to stay on. So let me get everything out. So that's what comes in the box. There's a front and a rear crossbar, and then the attachment points. There's some plastic parts and some adhesive little foam parts. They're like Torx or Torx style screws with washers, and a little torque wrench, and then 3 pages of manual instructions. It says you need a screwdriver and a soft cloth. I'm gonna use a moving pad from Harbor Freight up on the roof, just so I don't scratch it. All right, I'll start putting this together. On the top of the car there are attachment points, like where screws go into, and there's 4 of them on each side. There's 2 up front, 2 in the back, and that's where the bars will attach to. And I think there's pros and cons. I think a con could be that it'll be a bit maybe lower profile. I don't know, we'll see once they're attached, but it could end up lower than some bars that are up higher. But here where I currently park, it's there probably is enough room, so it wouldn't have mattered. I won't be able to park in here with a box anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. But I do like the fact that they will be more flush and look more OEM, rather than having the extra hardware hanging out. So let's see how it looks. According to the instructions, the first step is to check, to pull out it looks like they're supposed to be little cap screws, but mine doesn't have any, so I don't know. I bought my car secondhand, so maybe the previous owner removed them. I have no idea. So that's done. So then the next step is to put the little bars together. Looks pretty simple. Just a word of caution, in case anybody doesn't know. When you have plastic, do not use Loctite near it. If you get thread locker or Loctite on plastic, it becomes very brittle and falls apart, and it does that really fast, like within a few minutes. So these are plastic, so you would really need to be careful if you think you need thread locker, because once you push it through here, this whole part will become brittle and fall apart. So just a word of caution. These bars come all wrapped up, so they look pretty nice. They're all protected. So let's see how they look underneath this plastic stuff. I mean, it's not like I'll be looking at them up there, but looks like they did a nice job, especially for how cheap these things were. I don't even think they were 50 bucks, so I'm already impressed with the quality for the cost. They're looking pretty good. So here's the front, and it tells you which way's forward. So this thing is almost like kind of like an airplane wing. So this should theoretically help with whistling. It should help it be fairly quiet. Here's the bag of hardware. Looks like different lengths of screws. You get an Allen wrench too. There's the connection points. Looks like you have a long section and a short, and then they're mirrored. So you have a front and a back, left and right. These covers that are plastic, they are labeled left and right. And looking at the instructions, so right now I have the front bar, so the long parts are going to go forward. So right now while I build it, they'll go back. So let's see how that looks. So let me grab one. So if the long part's going forward, it would go like this, and then turn it around, and it looks like you get some play, enough room to adjust. So I'll put those on, but I won't torque them down just yet. And then this little guy fits nicely there. And it goes on with the Allen, looks like. Yeah, you definitely would not need any Loctite for this because it goes on really tight. So that's looking pretty good. I like the way it looks. So let me get the rest of them on. Alright, I had a hard time with this screw. I can't get it in much further than that, but I think it's fine. This other one went in all the way. But so then the next step, it says to put on these, they're these little foam deals. So, and these have a direction as well. So gotta make sure to put the right one on the right place. So it looks like, let's see, this one. Looks like this is the right one. All right. right, do the other side. All right, so I got the front bar put together. It's still loose. This is why I got the moving pad, so I don't have to worry about scratching up the roof. And looks like the screws are back here. So let's see. Yeah, they're like right here. I can't hold the camera and do this part at the same time. So let me get this started. I got the first screws in, and they go in really easy. They are perfect for it, so that's nice. And it's looking, so far, looking pretty smooth. I like it. So let's get the other side on. All right, I got the other side. I had to just give it like a little tug, and it lined up perfect. So this front bar so far, it's like right on the money. So now it'll be just a case of tightening all the screws. And so let me get the other bar put together, and I'll put on just like this one. If I encounter anything like difficult, I'll mention it. Otherwise, yeah, we're just about done here. Okay, so the second bar went together even easier than the first one, because I was able to get the both of these screws in the plastic thing all the way in without any problem. And then yeah, just don't forget that these are also sided, and they come with a little piece of chewing gum. 2 pieces of chewing gum in each. Just joking, don't eat the... I guess something to mention, I forgot to remove the little sticker that points forward on the front bar. And now I gotta reach way up there and get it. But the nice thing is that they come right off and they don't leave any residue, so that's nice. One thing I'm noticing as I put these on that I figured I should mention, so I'm gonna just try to get them to be like perfectly down on. Right now I have the screws and they're like down. I could foresee as I tighten them that maybe it lifts up like that or something, or twists. And I think if it twisted up like this, then it'll create more. I expect some wind noise from them, maybe, I don't know. But I think if they end up a little crooked like that, it would cost more, you know. And I'll do a test drive so we can see how much wind noise they do once I'm all done. So now what I'm doing, I got these tightened, but I'm leaving these loose. I'm gonna tighten all the way around, and then once those are all tight, then I'll have to come back around and tighten the 2 screws on the bottom that hold the bar. All right, I went all the way around, and then now I'm tightening the bottom ones, and it's definitely, out of the whole process, the most tedious part, just because it's a weird angle, and this tool, you have to be careful getting it nice and centered, because if you get it wrong, you could strip it, and you know, that would be a nightmare. So I'm trying to be careful. All right, just got done putting them on. This is what I had left. They give you extra screws, 2 of those, 2 of these. The tool I'm gonna keep in the car, and these little things I'll hang up, put them in the junk drawer. You could use them as little feet for something or whatever. All right, so far I don't hear any type of whistling at all. Right now we're going the speed limit, 40, and yeah, I don't, even with the window down. So let's see, I'll get out there a little faster, see what happens. Okay, so right now I think the wind maybe was heading it just right. It's like barely noticeable, but yeah, I could tell there's something a little different than normal. Alright, so let's see. Around 45, 50, you hear like a very slight howling. Kind of like when the winds are blowing past your house and it's, you know, really windy. I don't know, maybe not like that. Anyway, yeah, you can tell there's like a wing up there. Something's making some wind cutting, you know. But I don't think it's that bad. I think probably you get used to it. The smart car that I have, it makes this whistling sound, and it's pretty loud. And I haven't looked too much into what it could be, but it's definitely noticeable. But definitely more annoying than this. It's okay, not a big deal. But yeah, you can tell that there's something up there. So, you know, just one thing to consider, especially if you're kind of OCD, then you might be better off getting the bars that are removable, you know.